out there, you guys? I'm Marty Schwartz from guitarjamz.com. I'm going to show you a couple of licks in the style of Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I chose the key of C for this lesson today, and we're going to be using the C minor pentatonic scale, but I'm going to use the next position up. If you do know that already, that's great news, but if you don't know that, you can practice what I'm about to show you over those jam tracks and still be able to play some really fun music. So check it out. This 13th fret on the B string right here, that's the root. That's a C note. So when I'm learning and also teaching how to solo and play blues lead guitar, I really like to visualize where all my roots are. So it helps me kind of ground and be able to visualize all the different licks and devices, and I really use that off the root. So it's right here on the 13th fret of the B. So it'd be over a C blues, like this kind of thing. But I'm going to play that for you. You're going to play the super fun part, and it's going to be in this little box right here. And I like to see where the root is, but then I'm going to play this little box right here. If my ring finger's on that root, I have a whole step below it, meaning skipping a fret. And then I also have that same 2 frets on the high E string. So right away over the blues, you can just practice moving around this little box right here and actually start to get little licks that you might start to recognize. We also want this though. We want our middle finger on this 12th fret on the G string right here. That completes this little device that we're going to be using. Now let me show you this SRV kind of style, or at least one tiny little sliver of what he would like to do in this position. You've got this 13th fret on the high E. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend that. And when I'm bending, I like to use my ring finger and then my middle finger on the fret behind it, but I'm not playing that note. It's just there for strength. And then my index finger even on the fret behind that. Now I have the strength of all 3 fingers together to be able to bend that string. When I see beginner students, a lot of times they'll try with 1 finger and it feels really awkward. You're going to have a lot more success if you think of it as bending with all 3 fingers. Now check this out. When you're bending, you're bringing one of the higher frets up to where your finger is. So instead of sliding up, I'm bringing the fret to me by bending the string up. And bending has a more vocal, lyrical quality to it, and that's why we obviously love the guitar, and we love that the guitar can do that. It's a very expressive instrument. So check this out though. The whole step up, that note's really good. So we can bend, start trying to bend this up to that note. But a beautiful thing about this little spot is this half step up. That's called the blues note. So we can actually bend the string a half step to that blues note or a whole step to that note. So watch, here's the half step bend, and here's the whole step bend. Now that half step bend really sounds best when you hear it and it goes natural. So you have the whole step bend, and you also have a half step bend that sounds complete when it goes natural. Okay? So something that he liked to do is he liked to, and it's going to be a little bit more buzzy here, but I added some gain, and all I'm using is just an overdrive pedal with the drive turned up, about a quarter of the way up. That's it. So in that spot, he would like to combine the whole step bends and the half step bends in different combinations, and that's where the improvising comes in, because you can totally experiment, you know, with either. So here's a whole. I'll do a couple whole step bends, and you can hear I'm letting it. I'm hearing it go back natural. All these different combinations of the whole step bend, but then here's a half step bend. Watch when I milk both the whole step and the half step bend together. So that's the idea. He does that a lot. So it's and in different combinations, and then finally, real quick, and you're gonna have to do an alternate pick. You're gonna go the 11th fret on the high E to the 13th on the B to end the phrase. And you can kind of just shake your hand to try and get some vibrato there. So watch, here's the concept here. So sometimes it's a whole, and it comes back down, then half, comes back down. Okay? Another thing that happens all the time when you're bending that so when you're bending, if you start to bend with a little bit farther down on your finger, you can actually reach the B string also with the same ring finger, and you'll get that growl sound. So what I'm doing is, instead of bending with the very tip of my finger, I'm just, instead of the tip, I'm letting it kind of come here, so when I get to that bend, and I'm really using all three fingers, I can actually grip both. And that's going to take a little work, but that's another big part of his sound. And so that ring finger is covering the B string and the high E, but I don't hit it until I'm already starting the bend. And if you just bend with a lot of attitude and a lot of strength, you actually might do it by accident, and that's actually a really cool thing. So check out the bending. Alright, one final little piece of this lick, and another great little combination in this box, is going to be the 11th fret on the high E, and then the 13 on the B, then the 12 on the G, and then the 11 on the B. That's a great, like, end of a blues phrase. So, all in a little box. It's my lick in a box. Alright, I want you to try some of that stuff out. I'm going to play a blues in that key, the key of C. And just go for it. Just, you know, even if you're just working on, you're a beginner, just work on that the one bend. But if you're a more advanced player, try and put all those little devices together. 1, 2, here we go. ready for your big bend. Bend it, bend it, bend it, bend it. Alright, hope you had fun with that. Hope you started to, kind of get into the groove with me a little bit. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging out and learning a little something that was hopefully fun for you. Take care.